Hello and welcome back to Automate Live. I'm Jana Martin, the Media Production Manager here at A3. We're really excited to talk about education here with these folks. I'm joined by Ritch, Ramey, my colleague here at A3. He is the Director of Education. Also, next to him is Carrie Giles. She is the ACTE President-elect. Carrie, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And then, of course, we have Andy Schaafs, and you are the Senior Director of Development at RECF. Andy, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So, Ritch, I hear you've got some things to talk to these folks about in education. I'll let you take it away.
We're excited to have them here today. Carrie Giles, could you tell us a little bit more about ACTE and the amazing things that your organization is doing right now for education?
Sure. Thanks, Ritch, for having me. This is my second time attending the conference, so happy to be here. The Association for Career and Technical Education, we're the largest national education association, so we represent all career fields. We have close to 27,000 members, and I currently serve as the president-elect on the board. I'll take over as the president this summer. But really excited to be here and collaborate with so many business and industry partners.
And Andy, tell us a little bit more about the REC Foundation.
Sure, Rich. I also have my 2-year Automate pin, so my second year as well. The REC Foundation is the Robotics Education and Competition Foundation, and we try to keep the barriers of educators approaching STEM as a competition as low as possible. A lot of folks don't have that nostalgia of, like, say, a sport they played. So when it comes to robotics, what we try to do is provide every resource available so that we can have STEM students that want to compete have that opportunity to compete. So globally, we're in over 90 countries and over 33,000 teams competed in the 23-24 season.
Incredible.
A lot of students, yeah.
I was at your event in Dallas the last 2 years, and years ago I had taken teams to some of the world events, state events. I'm just so impressed with the preparation of the students and their engineering notebooks and everything that's being done by the REC Foundation to prepare students for careers in robotics and automation. Now, as you know, we have over 1,300 member organizations, and we're looking for workforce. Like every other organization in the world right now, we need students well prepared for robotics and automation. What are some of the things that you see in your role that our members could do to help the REC Foundation better prepare students and connect them with industry?
It's funny you say that, Rich, because a lot of times we say robotics is just a sneaky way to get kids excited about science and math, but it's not just science and math, it's also a future career. And so exposure to that, not just STEM competitions like you would think of where you see robots driving around a field or a drone flying through the air, but we have bridged that gap into workforce even a step further by creating a work cell where students can now compete to say we have a palletizing competition where they work with a 6-axis arm and they get closer and closer stepping in through competition, through the fun ways of competition, stepping closer and closer to industry. So of your 1,600 members here, I'd say start exposing them not just to workforce development, but also to what your company specifically does, whether it's the automation side, the mechanism side, or even the sensing side. I've walked around here yesterday and this morning, and it's amazing to just see how it's changed even in 1 year about how much focus is now on this sensory, not just the arms itself. I don't see the giant arm this year, but I see so many fast frame rate cameras and all the different types of sensors around metallurgy and things, and I'm just impressed with where technology is going. Let's let the students come along with you on that journey.
Oh, I agree. That's some amazing information for our members. Carrie, ACTE is a very large organization, and they're heavily focused on skilled trade development. How could you see us and our members, our organization, working with ACTE to help improve our ability to get students, graduates into our workforce, but also help the teachers and educators and administrators expose them better to robotics and automation careers?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think sometimes we get a little bit siloed, so we're in our own worlds, right? But I think the two associations could collaborate, partner together. Also, though, for all of the business and industry partners, I think it's really important to get involved at the local, state, and regional level. There's opportunities for educators and students to come into, your business and industry and learn more about what you're doing. Sitting on business advisory councils is also really important to get involved. Our students and educators need to know what the latest technology is. So sharing that information is a great opportunity. And also attending each other's events like this conference and this show. And then attending, smaller events where you can have more interaction with those educators.
We value the membership of both of your organizations, and you've helped us a lot in our education committees to better understand how we could make a greater impact on education. I'm just really excited, both of your organizations, what you're doing right now. Your website and you have a big event coming up too, right, this fall?
We do. We have our largest conference. It'll be in San Antonio, Texas, December 4 through 7. So we have thousands of secondary and post-secondary educators that attend that event. That's our largest event. And it's a great opportunity to collaborate, learn more about what ACTE does, but like I said, also to get more involved as business and industry partners.
And about how many people attend that event each year?
I believe this year we had around 6,000, so it's a very large event for educators.
And then Andy, your ability for our memberships, if they want to learn more about your organization, where would they go?
Well, they could go to ACTE conference because we'll be there. So, I mean, it's the who's who.
And you're here this week.
And we're here this week. If you want to know more about the REC Foundation, go to the website, recf.org, or just reach out to us through that website. But more importantly, what I'd love for everyone here to do is go to a local event. There were over 3,000 events in the United States. I would venture to guess there's one within 30 minutes of every facility represented at Automate this year. And if you want to go as an observer, we have a policy, we never charge. It's always free to the public because we want to inspire not just the students, but also the parents and the board of directors and the mayor to support what those teachers and coaches and event partners are doing. So we always keep it free to the public. So first go and then volunteer. Nothing impacts a student more than when they see an adult invested in that time being a judge or a referee, wearing their polo with their logo on it, whether it's the Yaskawa or Kuka or Fanuc or any of the other thousands of names here, and let the students know that's an actual career choice. They don't need to just follow in the footsteps of their parents. They can actually go into manufacturing, and it's almost like the science fiction of their parents are where they can work today. But really being in there, being present, whether it's at a conference or even at a more local level, more communal level at the actual events. Yeah, and if you want to find an event, you can always go to robotevents.com. We list all the events. Type in your zip code, it'll list all the events in that area.
And what grade levels?
Our public events go from anywhere from the 4th grade level all the way through university.
And so your different groups this year, you had in Dallas, Texas this recently. You had college, high school, elementary, junior high.
Yes.
ROTC.
Well, that's a subsection of high school, but a very important subsection because that's a career choice that not only leads to workforce, but also leads to the protection of our country. So the leadership of JROTC decided to let their students have access to robotics and drones in high school as they move on into a career, possibly even in the military field.
Wow.
That's great information. Carrie, so specifically what grade level does your organization impact?
Well, we represent any student and educator that's in career technical education. So we're seeing, as you know, career technical education get moved down to the middle grades. And so that's kind of the wheelhouse. Any secondary or post-secondary educator that's involved in career and technical education.
Is funding different, being done differently nationwide? Are you seeing a difference in the funding levels for state and local programs now that we have a huge emphasis on career-ready students when they graduate?
I guess the paradigm has changed. Career tech is back, and so it's a hotter field now. Everybody used to think just about college and university, but career tech is so important not only to our local and regional areas, but to our country, and to keep our manufacturing and automation and all these things going. So we're seeing kind of this splurge of career and technical funding as well.
Yeah, so I would urge our members to get heavily involved in these two organizations. They're doing great things to help promote workforce readiness and exploration of robotics and automation skills, and really AI and everything else is coming along. They're hitting it in their programs and their contests. They're always on the edge of the curve, I think, for what we need. So I'm seeing some really great things out of your programs. I'm excited that you're here. And
excited to be here.
The booth in the back, the RECF, REC Foundation's booth in the back, has an amazing brand new work cell in there that's made for schools. That, from my standpoint, I think it's ideal for young students to learn how, and even college students, high school students, secondary, to learn how to do work cells. And we see a lot of work cells here, and you're impacting vision in that. You have conveyor systems. You can hook up multiple robots, inputs, outputs, programming. Everything that we're seeing here, young students can do and learn. I really
at a
like
scale,
that.
right? At a scale that's
safe
approachable.
scale.
Well,
Yeah.
obviously safe, but approachable as well. I can't imagine a 5th or 6th or 7th or 8th grader walking up to one of the larger arms saying, yeah, that's what I want to do, and it's almost the same size as them. This one's at almost like a toy size, but not at all a toy.
Right.
And I like the overlap of the organizations. I was a career tech teacher that did VEX competitions, robotic competitions for years. And, a lot of career centers have both your, organizations involved. So it's a win-win for A3 to be a part of what you're doing right now.
Can I just throw in a question here? Thinking then now about the future, what each of you carry first, what are you really excited about for in the future of this education?
Yeah, I think one of the most exciting things is thinking about preparing students for careers that might not even exist yet, So we have to think outside the box. The technology is changing so fast, and all of our career fields are changing. So our students that are, in elementary or middle school may work in a career that doesn't even exist right now. So that's why it's so important to be involved with business and industry and stay on the cutting edge.
Absolutely. Annie, what would you add to that?
Ditto. Not much to add. The one thing I learned at Automate last year, hearing some of the speakers, is just how much onshoring is happening in the United States. We offloaded so much industry, and now we're realizing that bringing it back in actually is financially feasible and more efficient doing it here. Yeah. And because of that, we've lost maybe a generation or two of people that it was a generational hand down to go into industry.
Right.
We have so much to make up for to get that being a career choice again. So that's why I'm so glad ACT is here. I'm glad that we're here. I'm glad that y'all are allowing us to have almost a podium to speak for that student that doesn't know what they don't know yet.
Exactly.
And we need to get that in front of their faces.
And if they want to contact your organization, where would they go? What's the best website, contact information?
Ours is acteonline.org.
Awesome.
And we're recf.org.
Awesome. And of course, we are automateshow.com and A3. We're really excited about all the work that Ritch is doing in education, and so thrilled to have so many incredible folks like Andy and Carrie here at the event this year. So thank you for tuning in, and we will be back soon with more here from Automate Live.